Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'll be teaching us on how to make this side fan and side pleat autogele. And if that is something you are interested in, kindly keep on watching and make sure you subscribe, like. So this is already pre-joined gele. So the owner has been tying it before, but now she wants to convert it to autogele. So I'll be using the opportunity to teach you guys on how pre-joined gele to autogele. It's just a matter of you cutting out your style and use it. So first of all, I will measure this gele to know the length so that I will know maybe it will be enough for the design I want to create. So I first of all measure 60 and I will measure the remaining length, which is 16. So that is 76. 60 plus 16, that is 76. So because the length is not really that long, it's not up to 90 inches, so I'll just cut small. I'll cut 21 inches for the base. Normally the base is supposed to be 24, but I'll cut 21 inches. She will use a strap to tie it to be firm on her head. So after cutting the 21 inches, I'll go to my sewing machine to use it to create the base. So I'll create pleat with it to the base. So after that, I cut 5 inches long. I cut 5 inches length. So I cut it straight with the 3. The gele has been joined into 3. So I just cut 5 inches. So I'll be using it for the strap of the base and of the main pleat at the top. So I fold it and cut it into 2. Then I fold one part again and cut it again because I like my strap to be very, very tiny, so that it will be easier to tuck in at the back of your gele. It will not be heavy. So I'll go to my sewing machine and fold it this way and use it to create the base. So here I've already created the base. This is round base. I have a full tutorial on my YouTube channel on how to create this base, so check it out to know how to make this. So for the style, I'll measure the remaining length of the ashoke that remain. So I have 49 inches left. So I divided it into 2, which give me 24 and a half. So I will now add 5 inches to one to make it longer. So one will be 29 and the other one will be 20 inches. So one side will be 29 inches, the other side will be 20 inches. So that 29 inches is what we are going to use to create our fan. The 29 and this 20 will be for the pleats. So I'll go to my sewing machine. This one has already been folded, so I'll go and fold the one that I will use to create the pleats on my sewing machine. After that, I'll place the one I will use to create the pleats on my base. So before that, I'll measure 6 inches. That 6 inches will be outside. Will be after the place where I put the strap that she will use to tie it. So I'll pin it down, then I will fold like ½ inch inward and use that one to cover the sewing of the last pleat on the base. So here I was locating the middle of the base so that I will know the middle. I use that pin to put mark at the middle. So I'm going to pin this one above the middle, like 3 inches after the middle of the base. So 3 inches after the middle, because it's the fan, so I want it to be at the side, not at the center. I want it to be at the side. So I measured 3 inches. So I'll put my pin in that 3 inches after the middle. So I'll pin it down. So the other side will be for the round pleat. You can see it's 3 inches. So the others, it will be for this round pleat. I'll do the same thing. I'll measure 6 inches out. Then I'll fold it in, then pin it before taking it to my sewing machine to sew it, to secure it on the base before we now start creating our pleats. So after pinning it down, I will not close the middle. I will leave like 1½ inches space in that middle. I won't close the middle. So that middle I will leave like 1½ inches space for the middle. So I'll use it to be able to create the style I want to create. So now I'll take it to my sewing machine and sew it and stitch it down. So here, after sewing it, it's time to create our pleat. This side is the longer side and we are creating fan pleat. So when you want to create your fan pleat, first of all create normal pleat like 4 or 5, but here I created 6 pleats. I make sure my pleats are not too big. They are on the medium size. Then when the Autogele gets to the middle, like is 3 joining. So when I've used like 1.5 join, when I've plaited like 1.5, I now start creating my fan. So here I started creating my fan. You pick tiny at the top here, then you make it bigger at the side. So you can see I'm taking small pleat here, then bigger pleat there, and you make it slant. If you want to create fan, it has to be slant. You slant your pleat so that it will give you that fan style you are looking for. So just watch and see how I'm doing it. It's very, very easy. As you are creating your fan, you'll be straightening out your pleat. Then you fold it to the back to secure it. You use pin to secure it at the back. If you fold it to the front like this, it will not stay. See, it will bend. So you have to fold it you fold it to your right hand side. Then you tuck it, you pin it down rather. You pin it down at the back of the second pleat. You make sure you pin it down because we are still coming back to that part. So after that one, then this other side, you straighten it out. You straighten out all your pleats. You bring out all your pleats and use your needle and thread to secure it down before we go for final tacking. Just pay attention to what I was doing here. It's very, very simple and easy step. Just watch and learn. You'll be able to create your own. So you can see I have smoothened out the pleats. Then I use pin to secure it first before I will later start using needle and thread to tack it. But now, first of all, I use pin to hold it down. So I'll be able to work with the second side and create the other pleat design. If you are doing Autogele, you have to work with a lot of pin. So make sure you have your office pin ready. So now we'll start creating the pleat in the other side. This one is very, very simple. Just like you creating round pleats. Just take your pleat bit by bit, bit by bit, bit by bit, depending on how big your gele is. This is 3 joining. If you want this tie to be bigger than this, you can use 4 joining. If the ashoke is enough, or the person bring a new ashoke, you can use 4 joining to be bigger than this, and it will have more structure than this. This is just gele that they are tying before, so I just want to convert it to Autogele. So I have to make do with what I have, as in the length of the gele. So I have to make do with it, so that at least it will create something meaningful out with it. So you can see that you can use your already pre-tied gele, as in the gele that you are tying before, you can convert it to Autogele. So it will ease you the stress of looking for who to tie. So to straighten out the pleat, you put one hand at the back, then you put your second hand at the front. You use the hand at the back to be holding the pleats, then you use the one at the front to be smoothing out all the pleats you've created. And make sure no pleats fold inside. You bring every pleat forward. One hand at the back to hold it, the other hand at the front to smoothen it out. So that's how you'll be doing it bit by bit, bit by bit. Till you finish, then you secure it with your pin first before you now take your needle and thread and start stacking it down. So make sure you smoothen out your gele. So here I've plaited everything and I've hold it with pin. So the next thing now is to start tacking. So we start from this place first. Use our needle and thread to hold it in place. We are still going to re-tack when we are doing the final tacking. Autogele deals with tacking. You have to tack it very well to keep it in place, to make it last longer. And your tacking has to be firm, not too tight, firm. So I move it from the mannequin edge to this one. This part, I didn't know my camera was not recording the part where I cut the hand of the normal pleat. I cut the hand, then I fold it in. I fold it in because of the free edges. Then I start tacking it down under. That part will not show. It will be the part that will be on the head, so it will not be visible. So after tacking it, I make sure it's very tight. Then I cut it. Then I pre-tack again. I tack it like 4 to 5 times. You have to make sure your tackings are tight so that your gele will not lose and it will last long. So after this step, then we'll straighten out our fan. We straighten it out. Then we work with the down parts of the base. So this side, you just have to straighten out your pleat and start tacking it. If you watch my previous video, I said if you want to tack your pleats, you have to tack from the middle. The tacking is just to hold the pleats in place. You tack from the middle and don't bring out your thread on the last pleat. No, bring it out underneath the last pleat so that it will not be visible, and you create room for enough thread, because it's that thread you are going to use to tack it together. So make sure your thread is long. So when you finish, you tack it together. You just space it and tack like 2 inches in time space, 2 inches space. You do this side, then you tack the front side too. As you can see, just to hold it in place, not to be very tight, so that it will not squeeze your place. So here we are tacking this front side. This front side, you have to be careful when tacking it, because it must just be firm, just to make the pleats stay in place, not to be too tight. Because if you tight your needle and thread too much, you will lose your fan. It will not come out the way you want it to come out. So make sure that you just tack your gele to make it firm, and pass your needle through the middle of the pleat so that it will not be visible. It will be very, very neat. This upper part, don't bring out your needle from there. Your tacking must not reach that front side. It's just the pleat side that your tacking needs to stop, so that it will hold. Once you tack that down, it will automatically hold the pleat up, because you've tacked it down. You've tacked the foundation, so there is no how it wants to follow. Your fan will stay in place. It will be in place. Just make sure you tack the underneath it to be very firm, not too tight but firm, so that it will be in place. So after that, then I'll come to this down part. I'll cut out the excess. So this excess is much, so I'll use this excess to create the strap that I will use to tie this pleats. You can see it's long, so I look for the one that is a bit wide. Then I remove the pin there. I fold it into 2 and cut it because it's long, so I will use it for the 2 side. So I cut it into 2. Then I will use it to create the handle for the plate that you are going to use to tie the plate. I love my strap very, very tiny, so I'll be able to tuck it in. So we are going to tack it. So yeah, this is where. So just fold it from front to the back, then you tack. I have a detailed video on how to tack your handle on my channel. Go and check it out. The previous tutorial that I posted before this, the tacking process was a bit more detailed than this. I don't want this video to be too long, so that's why I'm fastening this side. So when you finish tacking, the outer part must be neat like that. No thread must be showing. It must be neat. Then you pass your thread. Then the hand are free. You fold the 2 sides in, and that's it. So now I finished tacking to both sides. So this front part, I'll remove the pin that I used to secure it. Then I will tack it together with the pleat so that it will make it firm. It will hold it in place. And when tacking, make sure your thread is not really visible. It's not really visible. The distance between the place you come out and the place you enter back must be very, very tiny, that if person did not check the gele very well, they will not be able to see the thread that you use. So that's how to tack your autogele to make it neat and firm. So this is the finished look of our autogele. If you've watched to this point, kindly like, share, subscribe for more videos. See you in my next video. Bye bye.